Hi guys, welcome back to Hector's Kitchen, from our kitchen to yours. Today we're gonna be making a Mexican dish, which is called Camarones a la Diabla. Those are gonna be sauteed shrimp with a chipotle guajillo sauce. It's a spicy dish. You can make it as spicy as you like. And these are the ingredients. But before that, we have to get a cocktail ready so we can all enjoy the video together. And please go grab yours. Alright, cheers. Today is vodka. So good. So for the sauce, we're gonna need 2 tomatoes. I'm using plum tomatoes. I'm using 2 of those. Then I have 3 ancho chiles, which are dry. I'm using small ones because I'm not making that much shrimp. Then I have 4 pulla chiles, which are dry as well. 4 guajillo chiles. And then this is where you get to decide how much you put in there, because these are árbol chiles and those are very spicy. I'm using quite a bit of amount because I like food really spicy, but you can use as much as you like. And we're also going to use some chipotles. We're only going to use a half of can of the small 5.0 ounce chipotle can. So about 3-4 chiles. I don't know how many are there. And then we have some garlic cloves and some black peppercorns in there. So we're gonna start making this. We're gonna take this to this side because I already have some water going. I have about 3 cups of water in there. I'm gonna put the tomatoes and the chiles. This has already been cleaned, as you can tell, because it could be a little dusty sometimes. We're gonna put all the chiles in there, and then we're gonna let this start boiling. Once it starts boiling, we're gonna lower it down to a simmer and let it simmer for about 10 minutes to where the tomatoes are cooked all the way through and kind of broken down. The chiles take no time to cook, but that is just gonna make it really good. When you blend it in the blender, that's gonna give it some thickness, the chiles. So we're gonna let that go. And now we're gonna start our rice. I'm gonna turn this on because we're gonna make some Mexican rice as well. I'm gonna put about 3 tablespoons of olive oil. For the rice, I have my ingredients here like I already showed you. I'm gonna use about a cup of rice. This is not a regular measuring cup, this is like a coffee cup. I like to make a little extra because we like rice at this house. So we have the oil going. Give it about 2-3 minutes so it gets warm. Then we're gonna bring this here. So we're gonna throw the onion first and the garlic. The garlic, just peel it and smash it. We're gonna throw it in there too. What we wanna do is infuse the oil with the onion and the garlic. Then we're gonna throw the peppers because you want the oil to have the flavor of the peppers as well. We're gonna let that go for about a minute or 2 until the onion is kind of translucent. You don't want to overcook it. You just want to get all those flavors going. Now if you look over here, this already started boiling. See it? So we're gonna cover it back and then we're gonna bring that to a simmer. And then just let it go for about 10 minutes. We got this going here. See, some of the onions had already translucent. Now what we're gonna do get this frozen corn and throw it in there. Make sure you break it down because sometimes there's like big lumps of frozen corn. If you have fresh corn, even better. I don't have it right now, so I'm going to use this. Get this mixing. Let the corn get warm for about a minute. This rice is so easy to make and it comes out so delicious. So we're gonna let that go for about a minute. I can smell the onion, I can smell the garlic, the peppers. It's gonna be so good. Once we add that for there for a minute, we're gonna add the rice. And then if you use 1 cup of rice, you're gonna use 2 cups of flour. Oh, water. I mean water, I'm so sorry. 2 cups of water. Always double the portion of the rice. Here's 1 cup. And another cup. Now we're gonna cover this and let it come up to a boil as well. Once it starts boiling, we're gonna add the chicken bouillon and then bring it down to a simmer. So our rice already started to simmer. We're gonna take the lid off. And then we're gonna add 2 tablespoons of chicken bouillon. Don't add any more salt. This is very salty. So we're gonna add 1 and then another one. Not hipping spoons, just regular size. Don't overdo it because you'll have very salty rice. If you have chicken broth, make it with chicken broth. It's even better. I usually do, but I don't have some right now. So I'm using this. So I'm gonna just mix it a little. Make sure the chicken bouillon is all incorporated. You can smell the peppers, the corn, the onion, the garlic. It's so good. And we're gonna cover it, and we're gonna bring it to a medium flame. Lower medium flame, not a high medium flame. And they're just gonna let it simmer for about 16 to 18 minutes. Make sure around 16 minutes, stick your spoon in there, part it apart, and if it's dry, turn it off and let it sit there. It's done. And remove it from the hot spot or it'll burn the bottom of the rice. Or if you don't want to remove it and keep it warm, you can add about 2 or 3 tablespoons of water in there and cover it back and just leave it there, obviously with the flame off. And it'll just create some more steam. Alright, see you in a minute. Alright, so our tomatoes and peppers are done. See how the tomatoes, the skin pretty much come out of the tomato. It's all broken down. So we're gonna take this off the stove. Be careful, grab some rags, don't burn yourself. Now we're gonna put this pan here, put it on a medium high to get it going, because we're gonna saute our shrimp there. We're gonna add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Now we're gonna scoop our peppers and tomato out. Put it right in the blender. Now we're gonna use some of this same water to blend the peppers to make the sauce. About a cup. Now, we're gonna come here. We're gonna throw the black peppercorns and the garlic. We're gonna open this can of chipotles. We're gonna do about a half a can of chipotles, which is like 3 peppers, I would say. That is gonna give it a really smoky flavor to it. And then we're gonna get our chicken bouillon and do about a tablespoon. We can always add more because you don't want to have it salty. Tablespoon of chicken bouillon goes right in there. If you have shrimp broth, make it with shrimp broth. It makes it even better. I ran out of shrimp broth. That's why I'm using this, and juice from the peppers. We're gonna blend this for about a minute and a half on high. You want it to be pureed. All right. Turn on low. All right. Our sauce is blended. We're gonna take it out of blender. We're gonna put it through a strainer. You don't want all those the skin from the peppers to go into your sauce. Oh, I wish you could smell this. It smells so good. See, we don't want all that to go in there. We want it to be a smooth, velvety sauce, like a puree, like I told you earlier. Now, we don't want to let all that go to waste, so we're gonna open this up. We're gonna put a little bit more some of the water from the peppers where we cooked them in there. Switch it around a little bit. You see all that? We're gonna pour it up in here. And this is what you don't want in there. Just want all the flavors of the pepper without the skin. So now that's done. This has already been heating up for a couple minutes. Now we're gonna throw our 2 sliced onions in there with 3 diced garlic cloves. Or minced, I should say. All these flavors are gonna infuse the oil. Put a little salt. Every time you add an ingredient, you gotta layer a little bit of salt. Not a lot. A little bit. We're gonna let those get translucent. And while that's happening, we're gonna get our shrimp over here. We're gonna add a little bit of salt as well in there. About half a tablespoon, because it's a pound of shrimp. And then we're gonna add some black pepper to your liking. And now we're gonna toss them. We're gonna bring this here. We're gonna push this to the side. And then we're gonna add our shrimp here for about so they'll start cooking. We don't need to cook the shrimp all the way through because we're gonna add the sauce in there, and then everything's gonna simmer together. But we do want to get them started, you know? So I can start incorporating them. Now we're gonna check on our rice. Open this up, part it, see it's dry. It should be done. I want to keep it warm, so what I'm gonna do is add a little bit of water and just turn it off, and that creates more steam, and it'll just keep it warm because it's sitting on a hot stove. The shrimp are kind of like halfway done, which that's where we want them to be. When we put the sauce, because we don't want them to overcook. We want them to simmer with the sauce. And finish cooking with that. And it'll be a beautiful marriage between the sauce and the shrimp. The sauce will get some of that shrimp flavor. And then we're gonna cover it. When it starts boiling, we're gonna bring it down to a simmer. And we're gonna let it simmer for about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, we'll check on them in about 5 to 10 minutes and we'll see how they turned out. So this is our finished product, our white rice with corn and red bell peppers, our camarones a la diabla. We have a couple of squeezes of lime in there and a cilantro sprig just to garnish it. Hope you enjoy it as much as we will. See you next time.